Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking a bit about Minecraft Windows 10 Edition Beta and just trying to clear up some concern over this version and answer as many questions as I can on this version as well. Obviously, if you do have a question which I haven't answered in this video, feel free to comment down below and I'll try and answer it as soon as I can. So we're going to get straight into this. What is Minecraft Windows 10 Edition Beta? So apart from having a ridiculously long and hard to pronounce name, it is essentially just Pocket Edition but ported over to the PC. And not just the PC but to Windows 10 devices as a whole. And before I go any further, I just want to say that the Java PC edition will not be discontinued, Mac and Linux support will not be dropped, and the Java PC edition is completely playable in Windows 10. So there's no need to worry about anything like that. So you may be asking, why do we need this version in the first place then? So it's likely that Microsoft has influenced the decision to port Pocket Edition into its own version. And for those of you who don't know, Microsoft aims to have a sort of unified operating system across all their devices. So Windows 10 will be across their tablets like the Surface and eventually their phones as well, the Windows Phone. So it's likely that they just want a version of Minecraft which can all connect with each other. So you'll be able to play multiplayer across all the devices, all your Microsoft devices. So obviously that offers a lot in terms of marketing and all that. So how do you get the Windows 10 edition? So all you need to do, if you have the PC edition already, you can claim your free copy by going to account.mojang.com, and once you log in there'll be a little claim button, and you can click that and it'll bring you to a Microsoft account sign-in page. Now make sure you're signed into the right account. Make sure you're not on your mum's account or anything like that, because whoever you claim it for gets that, gets the edition of Minecraft. And if you claim it for the wrong person, then you can't claim it for yourself without going through Mojang support. So be careful with that. A few people have done it already. So just make sure you claim the right thing, and then once you have Windows 10, just go to the Windows Store and you'll see that it is downloadable for free, and then you can click on it and play it. You do need an Xbox account to play this, which is a bit annoying. I don't have an Xbox account, so I had to quickly make one and figure out how to change the gamer tag because it gave me some ridiculous default gamer tag. But eventually I got there and it's all up and running. So the first thing I also want to address with this is that yes, it does have skin packs like the Pocket Edition. It has paid for skin packs, which to be honest I kind of expected. I didn't think that it wouldn't, considering this edition is probably going to be on the Windows Phone and the Surface as well. I don't see why it wouldn't have skin packs. Skin packs have been part of the Pocket Edition for a long time. So if you're surprised by this fact, then you really shouldn't be. You can also have your own customized skin, so you really don't have to worry about anything. You could, if you really wanted to, just copy one of these skins and upload it as your own skin, so there's no need to worry, basically. I've seen a lot of worry on Reddit and it's annoying. So also let's talk a bit about the main menu first. So there's play, which brings you to a world selection screen. So obviously I have a creative world and a survival world. There's realms, which is currently not available, and friends, which is probably for adding servers and multiplayer and everything like that. So it will be very much integrated with Xbox Live or whatever it is. So let's go back. Achievements takes you to the Xbox gamer points or whatever they're called. Options, it pretty much has the same options as Pocket Edition. So already you can see the interface is very much the same as Pocket Edition. So your gamer tag, you cannot change that. Sound volume, music, difficulty, third person view, which is kind of not needed anymore considering you can just press F5. Local server multiplayer, if you're going to controls, there's sensitivity, and then all of these aren't really needed if you're on the computer. And then graphics, you have things like beautiful skies, animated water, and again, high GUI. Can just press F1 in this version, so again, not really needed if you're playing this on a PC. So anyway, let's get straight into it. Oh yeah, and we have a feedback button over here, which takes you to a sort of feedback website, and obviously languages as well. Okay, so let's get into a creative world, and I'll talk about some of the pros and cons that I have about this version. So I'll talk about the pros first. The first thing that I want to say is that the performance is amazing on this. So since this is coded in C++ and it is a port from the Pocket Edition, the developers have had to be very careful in coding everything to be as efficient as possible. Because obviously mobile devices aren't the most powerful devices. They're not as powerful as computers, or at least most of them aren't. So obviously they need to be very careful with how they code things. And the PC edition is still being fixed from the sort of notch code days. So obviously the Pocket Edition, or the Minecraft Windows 10 edition, benefits a lot from how it's coded. It runs very smoothly, and the sort of graphics are very nice. You can see there's a water shader applied to the water, which is very nice. I've wanted this in the PC edition for a very long time. It just looks really, really good. And there's also a glare effect. If it would stop raining, you could probably see it better. But there's a glare effect when you stare at the sun. It's just little things like this. And the rain, if it's still raining, it just looks more spread out and more sort of just better than the PC edition, if I'm honest. Like, usually if you look up in the PC edition, you'll just see a square of rain generated. It's just a lot nicer than the PC edition in terms of how the world is rendered and everything like that. So it runs a lot smoother. But now let's talk about some of the cons of this edition. So obviously it being a port from the... Oh yeah, one thing I want to mention as well is that something I noticed. There are sand particles underneath unsupported sand. I just thought that was worth mentioning because that's something that I really think is awesome. But yeah, now onto the cons of this version. It being a port from the Pocket Edition, it has all the sort of controls and blocks and everything in the Pocket Edition. So obviously it's nowhere near up to date with the PC edition. It also has a sort of clunky interface if you're using a keyboard and mouse. There is no dragging, it's all click and scroll and stuff. So it's maybe not as user-friendly as the PC edition if you're playing this on a PC. It also sort of suffers from the control scheme. It's not very suited to the keyboard. For example, you can only sprint in straight lines. You cannot sprint and strafe like you can in the PC edition. So if I try sprinting and then press D at the same time, it'll just stop me sprinting and I cannot sprint anymore. Which I noticed immediately because I always do the... I always sprint and strafe. It is like... I think everyone does. So that thing was immediately obvious to me. What else is there? I'm not a big fan of the sort of white highlight of the blocks. I mean, it's okay, it's not the worst thing about it. I think the main things are that it's just not caught up with the PC edition. Sort of the chat is also a bit clunky, the way that there's supposed to be a keyboard here, but there isn't, because obviously there is no keyboard. There are no commands at all. I mean, obviously it's still in a beta stage, so I can't really expect too much, because it is basically a very quick port over from Pocket Edition. But that said, it is overall a very nice edition to play on. I don't think I'll ever switch to this version instead of the PC edition, because obviously this cannot have mods and cannot yet have resource packs. Tommaso said that there would be support added soon, and also there's no full screen option, but that's been said to be a bug. But yeah, so overall, it's not a bad version. I don't think I'll ever play it instead of PC Edition, because it's just not up to date, and despite it being very beautiful, I can see a lot of people playing it on things like tablets and things like that. So if you own a tablet or don't have the PC Edition, then it probably is worth buying, to be honest, because you'll have it across all your Microsoft devices and everything like that. I'm also going to quickly sort of illustrate how well this runs by sort of showing you how you can configure the render distance on this version past 32 chunks. So on the PC edition, you're limited to 32 chunks, and that is a memory hog. That just eats up your whole performance and everything like that. But because this is so well coded, you can actually increase that to over 256 chunks if you really wanted to. Obviously it's insanely laggy, but it just looks amazing. So I'm going to quickly do that, and then I'll probably end the video there. Okay, I'm back, and now I'm going to attempt to load a world with 100 chunks render distance. And now that is pretty insane, and I've done this before. As you can see, it runs pretty smoothly as long as I'm looking at the ground. But let's go up a bit. Oh, I'm stuck in a forest. So let's go up a bit, and you can see it starts to lag now. But it looks amazing. I think I really must show this to you because it looks absolutely amazing. Just look at that render distance. It takes a while for everything to load, and it gets incredibly laggy. I think that render distance is just insane. And if you wait here long enough, then the whole thing will render, and it just looks amazing. As you can see, it's sort of rendering by layers now. Yeah, you can see so far away, and this is only possible because of how sort of well coded it is. I really don't think I could do this in the PC edition without my computer just crashing. See, look at how fast that loads. I must say that's very impressive. Like, the PC edition would not be capable of doing this. And it just sort of renders different, it renders layer by layer kind of thing. I don't know if it uses some sort of cubic chunks or anything like that, but it just renders so well. Obviously the clouds cut off at some point, so it doesn't look as good as it could do, but just look how far away you can see. Obviously you wouldn't ever play with this, but it just looks so cool. And then as soon as we look back down at the ground, it runs totally smooth again. As long as we don't look at the horizon, it's all fine. I think I've crashed now. Yeah, I've probably crashed. But anyway, I'm going to leave that video there then. I hope that's answered some of your questions. If it hasn't, then leave a comment down below and I'll try and answer it. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.